Anyway, Ryan is from Concord, California. Ryan, welcome to the show.
Good morning, Jesse. How you?
All is well, sir. How you doing?
All is well.
Right on.
So I wanted to share my testimony.
Are you on a speakerphone or something? Let you speak into a cup or a can.
Does it?
Yeah.
I'm on my regular phone.
Okay, go ahead. You sound a little better.
Okay. I just want to share my testimony of what happens when a woman's spirit leaves a man.
Okay.
So back in April, well, first off, listening to you, Jesse, I had a lot of anger, and I judged others, and I judged myself. So back in April, I decided to take your advice, and I said, okay, let's do step one and forgive your parents. So I went to my mother, and I forgave her, and I forgave my father and had long talks with them. And it wasn't, I'm sorry for this, Mom. I said, no, Mom, I was angry at you because you did this. And I'm sorry for being angry at you.
Yeah.
And then a few months later, I went to the men's conference, and I saw you there at the men's conference.
Amazing.
And, I came up to the microphone and talked to you about one of my addictions, which is an online pornographic addiction.
Okay.
And you told me it was no big deal. You said, don't overreact, and eventually it'll go away. And so I said, okay. So another month went by, and I still hadn't lost my addiction. So I had forgiven my parents. I had gone to the men's conference, and nothing was changing. Well, about a month ago, I started doing the silent prayer every single day, day and night.
That's right.
And because you said that it's not just about forgiving, you got to stay with prayer. And if you don't, you'll suffer and die.
That's right.
But even then, doing a whole month of silent prayer, I was still addicted. Now, about 10 days ago, I actually stopped watching completely. I haven't watched it in 10 days. It was literally like as a snap of a finger, it stopped.
Yeah.
And I want to share why. It's because right before I came to the men's conference, I actually had broken up with one of my girlfriends that I was dating at the time. And I didn't know this, but we had stayed best friends. And I was still subject to her in ways that I didn't know.
Yes.
But when about 10 days ago, we kind of had a little fight, if you would call it. And I just decided, you know what? This woman's not good for me anymore. I think I'm going to take a break. And on top of that, she was seeing some other guy. And as you were telling the caller yesterday, now she has another sucker.
Yeah.
But it was crazy because the day we had that so-called fight as friends, the day she left my life, I had not even had a thought about any addiction. In fact, every morning at 6 a.m., I wake up and go to the gym and listen to your show that day. So it was like a whole turnaround. Like she totally had left my body. Her spirit had left me. And I feel so free. And I feel like I don't even think about anything, think about my addictions. I don't even have temptations about them. And if I do, it just goes, it's like a thought. It comes and goes like the wind.
Absolutely.
But it was just crazy because I thought that forgiving my parents and doing the silent prayer and seeing Jesse at men's conference, and those things do help. But what I really just didn't know is that I was doing as what you were telling a caller yesterday on the Hake Report. I was making the woman my God. And even though we had broken up, I had made her my best friend.
Yeah.
And I made her so important that I had lost sight of what was really important. And so I kind of just want to call and share to other callers that, seeking the kingdom of God is not just about forgiving your parents. It's not an overnight transition. It's about a bunch of things, but mainly it's just overcoming hate and returning to God. And when she and I had that fight last week, or about a week and a half ago, I totally just surrendered to him, and I've just been amazing ever since. And I just kind of wanted to share that with some of the callers because they might, want to know, what are other people doing? Is it working? And it does work. You just got to be patient and stick with it.
Yeah.
But it's just amazing what happened when her spirit left me. I feel so renewed and so fresh.
Well, a couple of things. Number one is that's what salvation is about. When it says you must be born again, it's like you have to overcome the spirit of your mother. That's why when you forgive her, God forgive you, and He would take her identity away from you. And it's not her identity, but it's the spirit that's in her. And when you forgive her, you overcome her, and you return to the Father, your natural spirit. And number two is when you wake up, you can't have a timeline on when you will stop looking at porn or smoking pot or whatever you're doing. You just know that this is something you want to overcome and be aware. And in God's time, He will remove it. But if you put a time on it, like, oh, this has to happen in a month or this hasn't happened yet, it would just frustrate you or cause a reaction, and you'll find yourself doing it longer. Or you think somehow or another God has let you down, right? But you will lose the appetite from it just by being aware and knowing that this is something you want to overcome. And you'll find yourself keeping the 10 Commandments once everything just starts to fall away. And especially when you don't overreact to issues in life. Every time you don't overreact, you're being made perfect. When you react, then you're being made imperfect. Because in God, you cannot overreact to anything because His love is perfect and He will cause you to be still and overcome all things. So you're definitely on your way, Ryan. That's an amazing story. And it is about overcoming the spirit of the woman, the nature of the woman, and returning to the nature of your Father, which is of God.
Right.
So
I like what you said there. You said, I lost my appetite for it. So would you say that 10 days ago when I had so-called fight with her and we haven't even talked since, I haven't had any kind of appetite for any kind of pornography. Would you say that's because her spirit had left me?
Absolutely. And because men do make women their God, even if they don't realize that's what they're doing, because of the fall, the Adam and Eve syndrome, that's what happened. The woman became the man's God, and Satan became her God because she believed in him. And then the woman seduced the man, and he believed her. And the moment he believed her, he became subject to her. Christ came and reversed that. Now when we believe Christ, we overcome the woman. And it's just amazing how simple that is, but the churches and others have deceived, maybe because they don't know themselves, and they just have intellectually taught the Bible to people. But and parents have done that. So you hear people quote the Bible, you hear people quote other books or whatever, but they have not overcome because they don't understand what real salvation is about, and that the kingdom of heaven is inside of them. They don't even know that. Most people don't know that the kingdom of heaven is inside, and everything we need is there to live by. It's mind-blowing.
That's amazing. Yeah, my ex, she kept offering me sex even after we were broken up, and I feel like that was still the reason why I was subjected to her, even though I had forgiven my parents, and even though I had been doing the silent prayer. I thought that, this physical things, I'm going to go forgive my parents, I'm going to do the silent prayer, these are going to change me. And it wasn't until I felt like her spirit left me about a week and a half ago that I really kind of woke up.
Yeah.
Well, especially with that caller yesterday when you were on the Hake Report, you had told him that he had made his ex-girlfriend of 7 years his God.
Yes.
And the reason why he had hurt so much is because he made her too important to him. And I felt like that's what was happening to me. And when I heard you say that yesterday, it dawned on me. I was like, wow, I got to call Jesse and tell him that something like this happened to me. But it's so amazing now because I have had no appetite for any of my addictions. Even drinking a little bit, I haven't even done that. But not that it's wrong. I'm just saying in general,
right.
All I'm really doing is seeking God. I'm working. I'm going to the gym. I'm doing the silent prayer, and life's been amazing.
And He will, if your heart desires to have a family, He will add a woman unto you, and it will be one that was given to you by God, and you and her will stay together for life. You'll have You will have kids. You will have a life. You will still have issues, but you'll be able to overcome them because now you're his son. He will help you overcome that. And let that woman be done with her. She is a seducer. Do not let her back in your life. A lot of men let these women back in their life because the women say, oh, we can be friends. No, they're saying, let me back in. I want to seduce you. So don't fall for it. Seek the kingdom and all will be added. Thank you, Ryan.
I think she found some other guy now.
Yeah. She found another soul to suck life out of, to destroy. And
thank God for that, because it's not me anymore.
Amazing. Thank you, Ryan.
Thanks, Jesse. Have a good day.
You too, man.
Joel, give him a break. You seen his Instagram? He's been busting his butt dancing. I've been seeing all his moves he does. He's been working hard.
Black man sleeping on the job.
Nah, he works hard. Cut him a little slack.
I will. He told me to tell you what's up.
Oh, what's up, Joel?
All right, thank you, Ryan. Appreciate you, man.
Thank you.
All right. Amazing. The men have made women their gods. And the way they do it is by first making mama your god, by resenting her. When she imposes on you like that, you resent her. In that very moment, women become your god. And you can't stand up to God. Are you crazy? You can't stand up to God.